Hi, welcome back to Code Otter. In today's lesson we're going to be getting more familiar with using idle on the shell, as well as going more in depth into what an IDE and an interpreter actually is. So, what is an IDE? An IDE is an integrated development environment. This is a piece of software that facilitates and helps programmers to more efficiently write and debug code, as well as execute and run said code. IDEs usually consist of three main parts: a code editor, build tools, and a debugger. A code editor is essentially just an advanced version of Notepad that lets you easily type code and can often provide automated code completion and suggestions, as well as syntax highlighting. Although at the moment idle doesn't actually provide any form of code completion or suggestions, it does use very easily readable syntax highlighting. For example, print statements come up in purple, loops are highlighted in orange, strings are highlighted in green, and don't worry if that doesn't make sense at the moment, because it will when it's relevant. Build tools usually consist of either an interpreter or a compiler. These are tools that translate human readable code, like Python, into machine language code, which is essentially zeros and ones that can be read by an operating system. A debugger is similar to an interpreter, except it allows additional options when testing, for running code like halting a specific line to find the source of an error. So what is an interpreter? Python is known as a high-level language, meaning it's easily readable by humans using mostly English words. This is good because it allows people to quickly and efficiently write and understand programs, but it's no good for computers because they only read binary zeros and ones. To translate high-level language to machine code, we either need a compiler or an interpreter. There are quite a few differences between compilers and interpreters, but the most important one is that compilers translate all of the source code to machine code before running the program, but interpreters translate code line by line essentially. Python is one of these interpreted languages, meaning it's translated line by line using the shell as an interpreter. The main difference between these approaches in terms of usability is mainly just that compiled programs will run faster and won't rely on an external environment. This means that programs you normally use like Word or Excel are compiled since they're running as their own exe, whereas the Python programs we're writing during this course are interpreted, so they rely on Python and the shell to run. So, interacting with the shell. So first, find an open idle, and this will greet you with the shell, just like in the last tutorial. The shell's interactive. This means we can execute code line by line in the shell. You can try this out by entering some simple mathematical calculations in the shell, again like in the last video, so try typing 2 plus 2 and hitting enter and you should get 4 as a result. Feel free to have a play around, try some more complicated functions. Just remember that Python does use bidmass, or what is it it's bidmass? Using bidmass or bodmass or PEMDAS, however you learn it, just the basic rules of order of operations. Best practice is just organise all calculations in many brackets as you can, just because it will make it easier to understand what you're writing and see if something's gone wrong with a calculation. You'll easily be able to tell. Just remember that computers use slightly different numerical symbols to mean different arithmetic functions, so like multiplication isn't like an X, it's the asterisk key in Python, as well as multiplication, no, that's what you said, as well as division being a forward slash. So that's the end of this video, just about the shell, giving a brief rundown. We're going to get more practical in the next one, so stay tuned.